Hey everybody, Josh for the Window Cleaner here, and today I'm going to teach you how to install a sliding screen door. This specific one is called a Century door. There are other doors out there. This is just for this style, and I'll kind of maybe explain how to do. Our other common one is the Ativo, but I got 8 doors that I'm installing. You can see I've already installed 2 of them. I'm working my way around here. So when you get the door, this is what it's going to look like. And it'll have all the little corners on there. The first thing you want to do is your weather stripping. You want to cut the ends off. I've already cut this one off, but when it comes in, it's like this. So you want to make sure to cut that end off right there. So I'm going to pull this up, and then I'm going to cut it right there. I'm using the Ronin multi-cutter. And I'm going to go right past that little brace right there, and then just go across. Perfect. Push it back in, and that's the first step. The next step is to take this plastic part off of here, and as you're taking it off, you're going to notice that there's a little packet right here. Slide that packet off. This is going to be for your locking mechanism, so you'll need that at the very end. Stick that in the pocket. Next step is getting the door on the tracks. This one just so happens to have an upper track right there, and that is that little piece right up inside there. So you want to get it on that track inside there. Right there. Okay. And then this one also has a bottom track too. So this is the track that the wheel is going to go on. So the bottom wheel is going to go on this track. Top wheel is going to go on this track. Right there. And sometimes you might need to adjust the bottom wheels. On some of the doors you can adjust the top wheels. On this specific door you cannot adjust the top wheels. So once it's on the track, get the top one on there on the left or the right side, and the top one on there right side. Push up on it, and you should be able to do that. And then most of the time you can just pop it right back on, and make sure that the wheels are on the track on both ends, and this is going to help prevent it from just falling back off whenever you're done. So in this case, this one has a screw that I can just unscrew and adjust the bottom wheel. We're going to try to get it on that track. Sometimes it's a bolt right here, so you would just have to get a crescent wrench or something like that. But I'm going to unscrew it a little bit and push that wheel up. You see how that wheel adjusts? And once you get that wheel on there, you can see that track. Put it on the track, push up on it, and then screw it back in. All right, now that wheel's on there. Same thing on this one. So on the other style is an Ativo door. If you look on the side right here, there'll be a hole. And inside that hole, there's a screw. And then you'll just unscrew that screw and the wheel will go up. And if you screw it in, then the wheel will go down. So that's the other style that's pretty common to what we do. So same thing on this side. Unscrew the screw. Doesn't take much. You don't want to unscrew it all the way. And then it adjusts like that. Pick up on it. And then you want to put the wheel on there. Well, there we go. Okay, and then push up on it. I'm pushing up on the door as I'm screwing in to make sure that that wheel stays on that track. Should be good now. All right, so now that's on the track pretty well. You can see, okay? Now, if you run into this problem where when it slides and you go to close it, it still has a gap up here, but then down there, it doesn't have a gap, okay? So then you would adjust these wheels accordingly. So I'm gonna unscrew this and drop this wheel. This wheel is actually gonna go up some, and whenever you do that, the screen door is just kind of lean a little bit more that way, so there's not such a big gap over there. Okay, so now that gap is gone. See, now there's no gap. Make sure to tighten that wheel down real good. It's still on the track. Now the next step is adjusting your weather stripping. So I like to reach in the middle of the door, run my fingers down through, because it's going to be pulled up in there like that. And you want to do this after you adjust it. So same thing on this side. Go up with it. All right. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little mark right here, right there. That way I can trim all this off so it'll slide smoothly. I'm gonna do the same thing here on the bottom. And it looks like there's already a mark right there, but you can mark it with a pocket knife or anything like that. And then I'm gonna pull out my Ronin multi-cutter and cut this part off right here. And then I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so I draw my line right there. And then draw my line right there. All right, so I'm gonna pull this off out of the track. When you pull this out, notice that it has little slits on the back. Okay, so we've already cut it here. It's gonna line up perfectly and slide good on there. Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it right there on that last line right there. So you only need to cut just a little bit. You see how I did that? I just cut a little slit in it. Just a little slit. And once you've cut that little slit, you just start pulling it, and it'll start pulling apart all the way up to where you cut it. Boom. Okay. Now what you're left with is this, and then you can just push it back in with your thumb all the way down. So then it'll slide nicely on there like that. Now if you notice, now it's still catching. So now we're gonna do the same thing. We'll pull it back off. Except for this one, we're only gonna do like one strip. So now I'm gonna cut it right there. And see that right there on that one. Just cut a little bitty slit right there, and then I'm gonna show you how I pull it up. After I cut a little bitty slit in it, and now I'm starting to pull it off, just like we did before. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it off of the whole thing. And then also too, I've already taken it off up here, and I've already done that to the top as well, right there where we put our mark. So that's already done. And then I'll just pull the rest of this off. All right, trash. And again, you can just use your thumb and push it back in that groove. All the way up to the top. Okay. Okay, so now we'll see. It still is catching just a little bit, but I don't want to trim it too much. So it's actually sliding pretty smooth. I'm gonna leave it alone, because if you trim it too much, then you'll have a gap, and you want it to seal up. But you can see how I've got it right here, and then down here. So that's how you trim the weather strip. So now you open up this little packet right here, and what you're gonna find is in the packet, this is gonna be your locking mechanism, a couple spacers. Locking mechanism, be a couple screws, and a couple spacers. Sometimes you need these, sometimes you don't. So now you flip the switch on this and lock it, and you stick your little piece in there like so, and then you go to close it. And then whenever you close it, you want to leave a mark right where you need that screw. You can see how that screw is going to have to go right there at the top. So I need to make a mark right here. So for now, I'm just going to mark it with my fingernail. See how there's a little bitty mark? Just mark it with my fingernail. And that's where I'm going to want to put my screw on the inside. So these screws that come with it are self-tapping screws. So you don't need to drill a hole. It will drill its own hole. So then you go back where your fingernail is, and I want to screw your fingernail mark that I showed you. And you want to screw that screw in right where that fingernail mark is. Right here is my fingernail mark. want to try to be in the center as much as possible. See, it just goes right back in there, and you try to lock it. And it locks. So you're good to go. That's how you do that part. And then don't forget to put your other screw in there. Let's see, your other screw. Sometimes you need a spacer, and you'll put the spacer, these little things, inside the track, and then put this over it. But sometimes you don't need it. Like this one, I don't need it. Okay, just double check that it didn't mess you up. Yep, nope, good to go. That's how you install your sliding door. Good to go. This is the sliding door whenever it's all done. Just make sure you clean your mess up if you're doing this for a job. Show you from the inside. So you just lock it, and it's locked. Thank you for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Any questions, please put them in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. And hopefully this helps you install your new sliding screen door. If you do have the Ativo style, again, don't forget the adjustments are in the side. Y'all have a blessed day. Peace out.